Hi, I'm Connelly Eyespeakout. Today I'm going to talk to you about parental alienation. Parental alienation is an epidemic. This is often where parents will use the children as a way to get back at the other parent or alienate that child from the other parent. In my case, on October 10th, 1980, my father discovered that my mother was remarrying. Out of anger, jealousy, whatever it was, he showed up at our apartment, broke into our home. It was just my older sister there, myself, and my baby brother who was next door at the babysitter, and kidnapped us. Fairly violent. I remember him yelling at us, and we're grabbing clothes and throwing the clothes in his van. My sister trying to run away and him having to go grab her and bring it back to the van. And then watching this elderly woman try to fight my father off while he held my 2-year-old brother with one arm to put him in the van. You're 7 years old and you're seeing this. You don't know what's going on. Over the course of the next few hours, my father packed up his own belongings and we were gone. We arrived in a town called Globe, Arizona. We were there with our family, distance family. And my father had convinced everyone that, it's typical, that he was trying to help and save his children. My father told me that my mother was dead. My mother was a witch. She had used drugs. She was a lesbian. You name it, whatever it was, my father tried to say those things. By the end of the 3 years, we had moved a number of places between Arizona and Texas. When we were discovered at the end of November, my father got arrested. We were living in we call it an abandoned home, but it was a really old farm home in East Texas. Meanwhile, my mother was back in California living there, didn't know where we were at. I just remember over the years searching for my mother. I wanted to know where my mother was at. I remember breaking down and crying a few months after I was taken, and my dad telling me, "Don't you ever cry for that woman ever again. You ever cry for her ever again." And I didn't. I didn't shed a single tear until the day my daughter was born when I was about 24 years old. I didn't even know how to cry. I had kept that in for such a long time that not only did it affect my relationships, but it affects my ability to trust. If a stranger abducts a child, you know that your parents love you and are gonna find you and get you back. You trust that. What happens when your parents are the ones lying? They're the ones that take you. They're the ones that try to make you hate the other parent. Well, that was my issue primarily. I found out years later my father would sneak off into Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of the night with my crying baby brother, and he'd call my mother and she would sing my baby brother over the phone, and he'd laugh and he'd hang up and say, "You'll never hear from your kids ever again." No one ever really truly gets over something like that, whether it be parental alienation or parental child abduction. I tried to bury all those thoughts I had, and I tried to just kind of love and forgive everybody. So if you're an individual and you've been alienated, you don't know what to believe. But you know one thing, this person here feeds me, clothes me, takes care of me, lies to me completely, refuses to let me see my other parent, takes away all my trust, but they love me. And that's where I came from. I came from a situation where I didn't trust. He didn't care that his son was hurting and his grandchildren were hurting and they needed their father. He wanted control. He wanted to possess and control. What you need to know is this: parental alienation affects all of us. But we together, working together, we can make a difference. We have that power to make a huge difference. So I'm gonna ask you to support this organization. We're not victims, we're survivors. And I'm strong and so are you. Thank you.
I'm feeling good now, no.